In this video, I'm going to be discussing the recent news about this individual called Anna Sorokin. They seem to have made a Netflix series about her, and I'm going to be discussing her immigration case, and I'm going to be discussing whether she has a chance to remain in the US legally. So if you want to learn more about that, keep on watching. So I just saw this in the news yesterday, and it says that she was detained for ICE. She's still detained because she overstayed her visa. In addition to that, she's going to be seeking asylum in the US while she remains in custody awaiting her deportation to Germany. So I mean, it seems like just right off the bat, from what I saw, from what I can tell, it seems that she committed some sort of fraud. She had some sort of scheme to, get money from people. According to her, it wasn't like that. She was trying to have some sort of venture, and then, it didn't come to pass, it didn't come to fruition how she thought. The police arrested her, then the DA pressed charges, and because of the criminal proceeding, because of the criminal conviction, it seems that that exists, that's when then ICE detained her and then started removal proceedings. ICE is trying to deport her for two reasons. One, she overstayed her visa, and then two, because of the criminal charges, because of the criminal proceedings. So, I mean, the first one, if you just overstay your visa, you do not get an extension, immigration ICE can detain you. Now, the thing is, they have to find you, right? Because if you were in one direction and then go to a different direction, ICE may not be able to find you. They're not going to know where you're at. So that's the caveat. Here, she made some sort of Netflix series, and I believe they paid her like $300,000 or something. And then because of that, I imagine they found her somehow, right? They found her when she turned herself in. And then once she turned herself in, ICE started the proceedings against her. Now, for the criminal charges, I mean, with those, they're so case specific. Every single state has their own criminal proceedings. Immigration is a federal law, so you have to compare and contrast. But just for the overstaying the visa, ICE can detain her and they can deport her. So once ICE does try to deport her, they put their charges against her, and then she has to prove, okay, well, am I not subject to this? Do I have a reason to be here? And basically you have to put a defense, like why, even though they are trying to deport you, why do you deserve to remain here in the US, right? So as it previously stated, she's seeking asylum. There was also another article, and it says, so right here, Sorokin still hasn't even been deported to Germany. She remained detained, and that her attorney has appealed orders for her deportation. So it sounds like the immigration judge has already given her a deportation order, and then in the midst of that, the attorney has applied for her to be granted asylum. So it seems like they're appealing a deportation order. She's applying for asylum in removal proceedings, and they don't mention more about what the reason is for her asylum. Before I discuss on the asylum, in terms of her being detained, I mean, you can apply for bond. Like, there's a lot of similarities with immigration and criminal court. There are differences too, but if you're detained in immigration court, you can request to be released on bond. You have to prove you're not a flight risk. The immigration judge is going to look at your positive factors and then look at the negative factors, weigh those out, and then based on their determination, if they believe that the negative factors outweigh the positive factors, they're going to deny your immigration bond. And that's just an oversimplification of how it is. But I imagine in this case, maybe the immigration judge thought, it's not just like she robbed, like a t-shirt. She didn't just rob, something small from a store. Granted, for immigration, it might have big consequences, but if you think about it, it's not like a t-shirt. It's not something small. Here, it seemed perhaps that it was, more thought out, more premeditated. It was more complex. It was for larger sums of money. It had more impact on people. And based on that, maybe the judge felt, like this isn't just some petty theft. Like, this is something serious. And the negative factors outweigh the positive factors. I imagine, if so, that's my thinking as to perhaps why the immigration judge denied her bond and she is still in immigration custody. On top of that, for the asylum, I mean, she has to prove that if she is sent back, if she's deported back to Germany, her life is going to be at risk. She's going to face persecution. People are going to want to harm her. And it's going to be for a reason that the law recognizes as a valid reason for asylum. And here, I mean, you know, we don't have too much information as what the ground is for asylum. I mean, in my opinion, it sounds a bit weaker, you know. I mean, I don't know what kind of harm she's going to face if she goes back to Germany, right? I mean, she's going to have to prove that people in her situation, I don't know, maybe criminals, have had public attention, some reason that if she goes back, she's going to be persecuted, she's going to be harmed. And honestly, I mean, I don't see too much of the argument there. I mean, yeah, you know, maybe because it's more of a high profile case, she's going to, you know, face, people are going to know about her, they're going to think she has money, they're going to want to, you know, do something to her. But I mean, that alone isn't a valid reason to get asylum. Yeah, sure, she can prove maybe they are going to want to persecute her because they're going to think she has money. She can prove perhaps that maybe they want to harm her, but what about it being a valid reason, right? I have other videos up here discussing what exactly you need to prove to win asylum, and I'm not going to get too much in depth, but if you want to check that out, you can click up here on the cards. And I mean, here, the fact that they perceive you to have a lot of money isn't a valid reason to get asylum. I mean, if she were, you know, American or perceived to be American and then went back to Germany, and in Germany they harm Americans, then that might be a reason to get asylum. For example, I mean, if you're from the Middle East, like let's say you're from Afghanistan, right? You are here in the US, you've assimilated, you know, you whatever reason, you know, you consider yourself American. If you go back to Afghanistan and they perceive you to be American, then that is an argument. Hey, you know, I can't go back to Afghanistan. You know, in Afghanistan, they don't treat Americans well. You know, the Taliban, you know, they terrorize, they find any Americans, they kill them, right? Even though you yourself are not American, if they perceive you, the persecutors, to be American, then that could be a valid reason to get asylum. Here, I mean, it's Germany. I don't know much about Germany, but I'm pretty sure it's not, you know, to the level it is in Afghanistan, in Iran, in Iraq. I imagine, you know, politically it's very different. I believe probably Germany and the US are allies. So I don't know how strong of an argument she's going to have for asylum. I mean, granted, once you're in removal proceedings, you make all the arguments you can make. But I mean, just from what we know on the on the articles, I mean, I don't know how strong it's going to be, honestly. You know, I mean, if she wins her case and is able to be here legally in the US, I mean, I'd be a bit surprised, but I think her chances of remaining here are pretty low. This is her right there. She said she paid restitution, you know, in criminal court. She reported to immigration authorities. An immigration judge ruled she should remain in custody, siding with ICE attorney who claimed she was not rehabilitated. She applied for asylum because of death threats and other issues she faced as a result of the media attention and fame that resulted from arrest, but those reasons were later removed. Thomas declined to discuss the details of Sorokin's asylum application, saying she wasn't authorized to speak about them. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything public about the asylum case. Hopefully we know more in, you know, the months to come. The process isn't quick, you know, the appeals take a lot of time. She could be detained, you know, maybe for 2 years, maybe more. But until we know more, I mean, this is where it's at. If you want to see more videos like this, I recently made reaction videos to 21 Savage immigration case, which is a bit similar to this young lady's, as well as a reaction video to a comedy sketch by Jimmy Chang. If you have any comments, please let me know down below. Thank you and have a great day. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you learned something. Have a good one.